everyone, how are you? Welcome. This is Oracle Maureen. Today, I have actually a difficult message to have to deliver. And as always, with the difficult ones I'm given, I tend to drag my feet. And this is one of those. I was given a message a month ago about the war in the Ukraine. By God. I know that's probably really kind of mind-blowing to get your head around, that I actually really do hear God's messages. The reality is, I'm a principal oracle for God, and I am in the process of updating my website to share more information about my ascension process and share with you more experiences I've had with God and Jesus and KUAN to help you understand this position I have and how these experiences happen with me so frequently. This message, as I mentioned earlier, is a hard one, but it's an important one. Hey everyone, I've got just a quick message here for you. In this message, I refer to Ukraine as Russia. I want you to know that this is actually not a mistake. The message was given to me clear, loud, and accurate, which is how I have given it to you. When Ukraine committed a certain act, they were technically Russia. They have since become independent and known as Ukraine. But heaven, in the message that they have given to me, is referring to them as Russia because they were Russia when they committed the act that created the outcome of the war that they are now enduring. Please stay tuned for this very important and enlightening message about the war on the Ukraine and perhaps more importantly also the guidance from above about what you can do to help them get released from their tragedy. Please stay tuned. A month ago, I was woken up in the middle of the night with a message from God. When God woke me up, and there's a process that goes with all messages when the divine comes to me and calls upon me to deliver a message. I'm put through a series of strong vibrations. When he embraces me, they typically start from the inside of me. They surround me. I go into what's called a state of typically euphoria, bliss, as I'm surrounded in this vortex of extraordinary, strong, powerful magnetic waves of energy. God then announces himself as either God, creator, source of life, sometimes divinity, sometimes the divine. He'll usually also spell out the name that he is coming through as, a lot of times in black, bold letters with a white background. And then he will begin his message with me. Once he's made what's called the link, and he knows he has my full attention. In this message, when God woke me up and announced himself as God, God said to please tell the people, and he gave me this message verbally and then wrote it in the black letters on the white board. And he said, and I wrote it out, and I actually brought it with me here to give you what he said word for word. And then he expanded on it afterwards. What he said was that God allowed the war to happen in the Ukraine because of communism and atheism in Russia. He then said their act of atheism was a betrayal on God, and that because of their betrayal of a lack of loyalty to their creator from atheism, God suspended his gift of protection. I heard the message, I saw the message, and immediately I had anxiety that this was going to be a hard message to deliver, because I know so many people don't want to believe that God will execute his power in ways like this. In my line of business, I've come across so many young perspectives and misguided perspectives where people want to think that God is like a happy, laughing Buddha up in the clouds that is just only of the vibration of giving love in the form of wanting to give gifts like Santa Claus. That's not the reality. God then explained to me later, when I didn't deliver this message initially, that Mother Mary was sent to earth decades ago and gave a strong warning multiple times to 3 children in Fatima, the 3 shepherd children, that warned Russia that their act of atheism was going to result in a horrific tragedy because of their level of betrayal on their creator, God. God then said to me in a second message to help people understand that this is not his wish. This is not what he desires for his children here. He is in agony, as well as all of the spiritual guides and angels in heaven, as they are watching the violence, the murder, the atrocities, especially the war crimes happening. God wants you to understand the act of karma and manifestation, that when his children, that would be the people on earth, choose to not live in a state of living devoted to God, it will cost them karmic consequences. Those karmic consequences can come in any form that God sees fit in order to discipline them and teach them in whatever ways he feels is necessary to enlighten them about his power and his omnipresence existence in our world and the entire universe, and the reality that he did create their souls, and to turn away from and to turn your back on the one who created you, which is God, is one of the ultimate, most severe betrayals and mistakes that a human can make. When Russia chose communism and atheism, they turned their back on the one who created their souls. They turned their back on the one who could give them all the gifts and blessings that they want in their world. He chose to suspend his gift of protection when they needed it the most, when evil infiltrated the humans involved behind the war. God did not put into motion the war, the dark forces that can and do possess, infiltrate, and drive the humans is what actually put into motion the war. God's protection is what will stop a war. God's protection is what will release people from war. He wanted me to help you understand that the mistake that Russia made decades and decades ago, before Mary was sent to earth, and used the 3 shepherd children in Fatima to warn Russia that they needed to convert or that they would suffer dire circumstances, has now come to fruition. It is with sadness that your Creator has asked me to send this message to enlighten you, when I didn't send the message because I know so many people are not going to want to accept this truth. I received a visitation from Mother Mary. She woke me up about 2.5 weeks later, standing at the side of my bed. It was around 6 a.m. She had her hands on my chest, my heart, and the other hand on my stomach, and she was sending me healing energy and filling me with her vibration. And after she announced herself and I saw her, she gave me a message and she said, "It is not always easy to deliver God's messages. It is often very difficult, but it is imperative that you do to help Him and fulfill your mission to completion, and know that you did succeed in fulfilling your Father's wishes." She then said, "Because I have used so much bravery in the past, delivering so many other difficult messages, go to my blog on my website." She said that God is pleased with me and that she is pleased with me and that she is now going to stand even closer to me as one of my principal spirit guides and assist me at an even more advanced level and even increase my level of bravery further. Clearly she has. I'm sitting in front of the camera giving you this message. I'm fully aware of the misguided thinking that so many people have, that there is either not a God or that God would never allow a war to exist like this. What He wants you to understand is that He requires loyalty. He requires devotion. He wants you to understand that when you do not give your Creator, the source of life, the one who did create your soul and who does gift you every single blessing you have in your life, the one who grants you every single positive, joyful experience you have in your life from the moment you were born until the moment you graduate your incarnation. If you do not show Him love, devotion, and respect, He is sadly forced to choose to withhold those gifts, because as He has enlightened me over the years since He ascended me up to working for Him on a full-time level, He has enlightened me that in order to receive His gifts, it does require respecting Him and being devoted to Him. Right now He's showing me the doorway to heaven, and I've been seeing it for like the last 2 minutes. He's showing me the doorway to heaven slowly opening, and He's been telling me the primary reason, in addition to all of the other reasons about why you must show God devotion and respect, is that if you do not believe in Him and are not loyal to Him, when your incarnation on earth is over and the day comes when you will meet your Maker, the doorway to heaven, His home, cannot open for you, because He cannot allow people to live in His home, which is heaven, unless they have a true, genuine belief in Him. He is trying to teach people this here now so they can correct the misguided thinking, so that when their time in their afterlife comes and they do stand before God, they are more likely to be allowed to be invited into his home, and he will willingly open the doorway to heaven and invite them in. It is God's wish to open the doorway to all of his children and allow them into his heavenly kingdom. But as he has told me in the past, he will only allow that privilege and that gift to those who believe in him and respect him, because it is his home. And for those who do not believe in him, the doorway to heaven stays shut, and those souls go to the lower realms. He is trying to protect you from going to those lower realms. That is also why he's asking me to send this message. Mother Mary has said, before I sat down for this message, that we should help the people in Russia who've made this dire mistake, and all the people in Russia who are in trouble, who may not be atheists. Many of them are not, but the consequence is sent over there, and they are in the situation for whatever other reasons that they are in this situation. We need to do more to help them. Mother Mary is saying to pray for them and to keep praying for them until this tragedy is over. She's saying to pray the rosary on their behalf and hold the intention of asking God to show Russia more mercy and more grace, and to please release them from their suffering. She's saying to hold prayer vigils in your home, in your church, in your heart, in your mind. Keep them as a priority. She's let me know that our prayers will be heard and will make a difference in helping shift God's heart into becoming more merciful towards them. When God finally feels a shift in Russia by hearing prayers from them, his heart will shift towards them. God's heart needs to shift into a state of forgiving the mistakes that Russia has made. God's heart needs to shift into a higher state of forgiveness and grace in order for the war to finally end. That's when he will release them from this tragedy. We can plead to him to please shift his heart, to forgive them for their mistakes, and to please release them from their tragedy and let them try again and do better. I know this was super long. Obviously, if you haven't caught on, after about the first 5 minutes, I was fully being channeled. Mother Mary has been standing on my right side holding my hand. KUAN has been on my left side. They've been helping send this message to you. Please help Russia. Please pray for them. Please also take to heart the enlightenment that we have given you today, so that you never make this dire mistake. Always show your Creator love and devotion, so that he can give you his gifts, his blessings, and your life on earth can be one where you experience more joy, more happiness, and your afterlife can also be one where there is more joy and happiness, because the doorway to heaven will be more likely to be opened by the hand of God, because you made the wise choice to show your Creator, your Maker, the one who gave you life, who created your soul and gave you all the gifts that you have in your life today. Respect, loyalty, and devotion. This is Oracle Maureen, helping you gain a greater understanding on a very difficult time in our world today, as well as helping you get to a higher place in your ascension process here on earth, as well as in your afterlife. Namaste. Blessings to you.